this video, I wanted to give you some tips for how to study. So on Friday, we got our report cards for the second quarter, and some students may not have been very happy with their grades. And if you weren't, that's okay, but know that this is not just a random thing that happens to you. You don't just get a grade. We don't just randomly give students random grades. You can do better. And one thing I think would help a lot of people is putting some effort into studying. Okay, and why do we study things? It's planned learning that can help enrich your life. It's going to help you achieve your goals. So the more you know, the more things in life you can do. So we learn things that we want to know, okay? And we learn through our senses, through hearing, seeing, and, our memory and our brains. Sometimes we want to know the what, the facts and names. Sometimes we want to know the why, the relationships. Sometimes we want to know that, how to do things, idea for use. And a lot of students might say, oh, well, I don't really need this subject. I'm not interested. This is just a waste of my time. Okay, that might be true. Maybe you don't really need, algebra or, reading or something like that, but you don't know that, okay, in the future. So one thing that would really come in handy is if you learn how to learn, because no matter what you do in life, you need to know things and you need to know how to kind of teach yourself things. Okay, because learning is not a passive experience. You have to do to learn, okay? And learning is really making connections to things. So while you're doing that, you should have a positive attitude, okay? Every time you learn something new, you're getting closer to reaching your goals. You might not even know what your goals are now. That's okay, but you are keeping these doors open when you are trying to make those connections and learn something new. So just some tips, you might want to study a little bit each day. Keep a track of your assignments and deadlines. Don't just procrastinate, which means wait to the very last minute, because you're probably not going to do a good job. And a lot of students have this mentality of like, oh, I'm just not smart. That's just a cop-out. Okay, because many of our students, we have students who, might try and study and put a lot of effort into doing well, and then other people just say, oh, well, she's just smart, or he's just good at math. That's not always the way it is. Many of these people work hard and put time and ask questions and do the work to get there. So don't be that person just thinks like, oh, I can't do this, so I'm not even going to try. Yeah, if you think that way, then that's true. You're not, probably going to do very well. So it's really a mentality of studying, of thinking positively. And here's a quick tip. It's probably easier to do things, right after you've had class, too, while it's still kind of fresh in your mind. You're not waiting till a week later till you barely remember what it is you're actually supposed to do. So when you're studying or doing online school, you need an area. I would not just stay in bed with the laptop, propped to the side while you're basically sleeping. Try to get up. I know not everybody has a great space or a quiet space, but try to get headphones if you need them. I would definitely keep a notebook and a pen near my computer so I can take notes, because that is an extremely important part of studying. And I will say right now, there's no such thing as multitasking. Yes, we can walk and chew gum and maybe talk at the same time, but our brains can really only focus on one thing at a time. So the quieter you can get it, the better. If you could turn off your music, turn off your TV, and try to shut the door, you will be able to focus much better. And I understand not everybody can do that. People have siblings. We see that in the online classes, little brothers and sisters or older brothers and sisters, coming in and out, people walking in the background, the noise level. Again, I would find very distracting. So if you can tune that out, that would be great. Okay, and again, going to that really important thing, note taking. taking notes during a class can help you remember, but it also serves as a reference. Okay? And this is also helping you pay attention. So maybe if the subject is not one of your favorites, you know, if you're writing down what's happening, it's going to bring the seeing and hearing together, and then you will have those notes for the future. Sometimes you can take notes from books or articles, and then when you want to review, you will have the notes as an aid. And you can learn different tips for note taking, like, you know, not always writing out like the word continued, but maybe dropping the middle letters or dropping the end letters. You know, important, I might write is IMPT period. Okay, maybe I'm going to use, you know, stars, circles, underlining in different ways that works for me. Some people color code their notes. I often do that. It is more time consuming. If you're just starting to take notes, I would stick with one color and just simply underline special things that are important. So if you're listening maybe to a lecture or something, or a video, okay, which is nice because you can pause the video, you don't write everything down. You want to listen for those keywords. What's it about? So if we're watching a video on main idea, you're looking for, you know, how to find the main idea. Also, you want to listen for clues, you know, especially if it's a social studies class, you know, the 4 causes of this war were, or to sum up. And that's going to give you, you know, the most important information. If there's a discussion, don't write down what everybody says. You would just write down any major conclusions. If the teacher gives a point special emphasis, you know, maybe they write something on the board if you're in in-person school, or they highlight something in a remote classroom and they keep repeating something, put it in your notes. Okay, so we know that students learn through repetition. So if I'm teaching theme and I'm going to keep saying, you know, theme is the message, it is stated in a sentence. It's not the topic. You know, I might say that 10 times, write that down. That's extremely important. When you're note taking from a text, maybe an article or an actual textbook, you know, think, what does the author have in mind? And look through those headings and subheadings first. They're going to give you the main idea. You might even want to skim through the last summary paragraphs of each section or the chapter, and that will give you the general idea. You know, again, read for the key points, the chapter, the paragraph, the sentence. What are the key points? And again, if you're looking for the general idea of what it's about, skim through. When I'm skimming, I'm not reading every word. I'm reading the important words. But if I'm looking for a detail, I want to read slowly, okay, to try to find that detail. Some other tips for note taking: have a plan. Maybe if something's important, you're going to write it in all caps or make it bigger or underline it. We used to teach how to actually do an outline with, you know, Roman numerals and capital letters and all that stuff. We typically don't do that anymore. Okay, and if it's a great thing to learn, you can watch videos on it online, but you can actually just indent to show those points. You know, what goes under what. That's the same basic thing is outlining. You know, organize your facts to show the relationships. Use your arrows. Write clearly so you can read your notes. Now, it's right now 2021. Most people are going to be using a computer to take notes. Can you do that? Sure, but research does show it is actually better to write down notes by hand. You're going to remember them better. They will get in your brain better. Now, of course, can you record things on your computer? Yes, your computer can transcribe things. If somebody's talking and you're listening to a lecture, you know, your computer can actually type out everything that person's saying. Is that helpful? Sure, I think it could be in maybe high school or college classes. In middle school, I don't really believe we go that fast where you would need to do that. If we give notes, typically we tend to give you a copy or to give you like a skeletal copy. But again, if that's something you need to know, You can look online how to do that. When I'm taking notes, I always make sure each page has a heading. And I would have dedicated notebooks for each subject. But, you know, put your source of information. Like if I'm getting it from a specific website, I would write down that website. Okay, and again, you're never really going to write everything except if you're writing down a, you know, a direct quote, a rule, or a law that you need to know. Okay, and good students, again, it doesn't just happen. These students are the ones who ask questions. They might ask the teacher. They might ask other students. They might Google things online. Okay, and again, if you can't have just one notebook per subject, you know, have a binder and separate it by subjects. Experiment in note-taking. What fits your needs? Okay? And again, when you're taking notes, you know, what's your purpose? What do you want to know? If you don't understand words, look them up, okay? Don't try to just guess. You know, when you can go to dictionary.com, type the word in, and it's going to pop right up, okay? And you want to really try to understand the relationships between things. If you need to, make that outline and then sum things up. Okay, what are the main points? Answer the question, so what? You know, does this make sense? If you can, try to explain the notes to somebody else or explain it to yourself. You know, to teach is to twice learn. When you are going online, of course, you want to use reliable sources. You know, where did you get the information? Is it just some person randomly writing down things? You know, are these facts? You want to make sure it's a reliable source. And of course, that can be its own video on finding that. I mean, if you're not sure what you're doing, go back and read the directions. Okay. Teachers don't just put directions in that, you know, to be ignored, though it does feel like at times that nobody reads the directions or makes any attempt to read them, but they are there for you to help you. Okay. And if you have a report to write, your teacher will tell you most likely exactly what to do depending on what type of assignment it is. So these are just some general, you know, ideas. Do your reading and research so you know your subject. Okay, I've had kids in the past try to write papers and paraphrase articles and sections of books that they haven't even read. Okay, we can tell when you are just copying from the book and you haven't read it because it doesn't make any sense. So, you know, you want to try to actually read it and figure out what they're trying to say. And before you turn something in, you want to reread, rethink, rewrite, give your sources. Where are you getting this information? And this should be an easy one, spell check. You know, it should not be that hard to spell check using a computer, but you would be probably surprised at how many people just don't even bother and turn in, you know, things that they just typed out and haven't even looked at again. If you have a test, use your notes to study. Review your notes. Read the directions on the test. Read the questions and the answer choices at least twice before answering. Think about your answer. And then when you get your test results, read the feedback. We have tests where students can see the answers that they missed. They're immediately asking for a retest. Well, they got all the answers. That, you know, you're not even looking if you miss all of the answers. So if you did have a redo assignment, you know, reading the answers, the correct answers that pop up may help you with that. Okay, and there's times everybody gets discouraged, especially now. Take a break, try to move around, get a lot of sleep, and move around, exercise if you can, drink water, eat, try to look away from the screen at least every 15 minutes. You know, if you need glasses, you should be wearing them. You know, and when it's not time to do school or to study or to take notes, you know, don't think about it. Use that time to try to relax and take a true break. You know, and remember, learning is doing, and that is up to you. Okay, you are going to get out of studying what you put into it. And just some more tips. use what you learn as soon as often as possible. You know, tie in your studies with your interests. If you're interested in something, you can research it more. You know, take part in class discussions. You know, when you're going to say something, you know, you can even jot down notes about what you're going to say. Okay, when you don't do well on something or you get constructive criticism, use it so you can learn and you can grow. Learning is, you know, helping others, but also asking for help when you need it. Okay, so these are just some tips of studying that, you know, probably no one will actually listen to, but you know, these are things that will help you not just in middle school, but in high school and college and in life in general. So again, post any questions you have down below, but don't just say, oh, I'm not good at this subject, so I got a bad grade. That's not acceptable. You get out of things what you put into them. Okay? Hope this helped. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Thank you for watching.